on this point as they are smoked up and just going around figuring out what they want to do. You're acting like this $120 mount is such a new thing. No, it's not. Do you know something called Star Citizen? Do you know how much a spaceship in Star Citizen is? The Roberts space game that's been in development since 2010, since I went to university, I do believe.
Yeah.
It's
how much?
The game's not even released. You could buy a spaceship for $1,000, and people have done that. You can buy a spaceship at 60. You can buy a spaceship at 120. This is not new, Michael Phoenix.
I'm just gonna say, if you bought one of those, you're an idiot. Straight up, you're just stupid. It's just stupid. What are you doing?
I mean, they could be stupid or rich, or stupid and rich. At the very least, if they are rich, they're in a better position than we are. You could call them dumb all they want, but they've got the money.
Yeah, but I don't know, dude. It's just pathetic. It's just sad. Who spends $1,000 on a spaceship in a game that's not even finished yet? I haven't even heard of the game. Oh.
I mean, you think about it. There's a lot of dumb stuff we spend on, right? Like, so someone bought Dragonclaw. Who would do that in Dota 2? Is that a sound investment?
I really wanted one back in the day. I'm still upset I never bought one. I'll be honest.
You wanted to buy one, Mikey? You wanted to buy one. Oh.
It was a good investment.
Like off the market? No.
Yes. 2 for 2 trade in the bounty runes. Don't you dare compare. In fact, we are going to have another pause. We'll continue this conversation, John. Don't you dare compare Dota cosmetics to these stupid mounts and spaceships and all this other crap. Dota cosmetics are worth.
Look, in the end, what are we all spending on? Pixels that we actually don't even have ownership rights over, and don't bring NFTs into ownership rights. No,
I was gonna say.
Do not raise. No, I don't. No, absolutely no. I'm not legitimate. I'm not saying NFTs are good. No.
You raised a legitimate point.
There is no way. There is no way you can make NFTs work in an environment where, in the ideal world, it's property that you can use across games. No one is going to go into a unified engine to allow cross-item usage. No one's going to do that. No one would. The closest, yes, I'm absolutely sure. It's a loss of money. For the guy who makes it for his one game, he's happy. But if someone brings that into another game, it's like you can't charge for it again. It's like, no one's going to do that. It's dumb. If you wanted to do it, Unreal already has the tech to probably implement something like cross-asset sharing with code. They're not going to do it. No one on Unreal is going to do it. Epic's not going to let you pick your Fortnite cosmetic and use it. And what other games do they actually have? Fortnite 2, let's say, theoretically. Or what's the opposite of a fort? Bunker Night, I guess. Fortnite and Bunker Night. You wouldn't take your item from Fortnite and use it in Bunker Night. Epic would lose money. No dev would do that. There's no demand for it.
Well, but what if you had to pay like a transaction fee for bringing it to the next game? Think about that, John.
Stop it!
It's
Stop
genius.
trying to sell me. Stop trying to sell me on this load of turd. No.
Oh, even my vacuum has a subscription service these days. Did I tell you about this? I bought a $700 vacuum.
You have.
That vacuums and mops at the same time. And I've got to pay $50 for detergent because no other detergent works with this vacuum. So it's basically a subscription service for a vacuum cleaner. Can you believe that? And the worst part is it's squeaking nonstop now. Like, it won't spin the roller to mop anymore without doing my absolute head in. Like, even with headphones on, I can hear it clearly. So there goes my money down the toilet. Thank you to my wife for recommending that purchase.
I mean, there are so many questions there, Michael Phoenix. Number one is, did you do your own research before getting that damn thing?
I did.
Before you pin the blame on someone. And what did the research say? Did it mention anything about this detergent issue that you read about, that you've experienced? Like $50 for detergent.
This is my problem with the internet these days, right? Like, there's too many influencers and they're all just selling you absolute rubbish. Like, you can't tell the difference anymore between a decent product and absolute trash. You just can't.
I agree. That's why, I don't stay on social media too often. I do not consider, I get so pissed off as well whenever, people point at, like I had a trip with friends. They got me tickets and I was like, all right, thanks. So we went on a trip to Hong Kong, and they planned their entire Hong Kong trip through some influencer's view of what you should do in Hong Kong. And I mean, the trip was fun, and in the end, we made it fun. But I was so pissed at the concept of them that their entire trip was just based off this one suggestion they saw on TikTok. And I was just like, oh, no, this is not, no.
Yeah, wait till you get married and your wife's watching Instagram reels of families and their perfect lives living in mansions and, you know, oh, look at that husband and how great he is giving his wife a massage every night. Like, it's not happening. They're not really doing that. You know, don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm going to get upset.
I mean, hey, look, you know, there's so many videos already proving a lot of those kinds of family influencers are.
Tell my wife that, John.
You could just link her a video, Mikey, instead of being so passive aggressive here. you could link her a video,
John. She's got a short attention span. This woman,
those videos tend to be long.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. Yeah, I mean, again, that's why. I don't know. Social media is just. It's weird, man. It's like endemic of the evolution of the internet as we have a prolonged pause. Welcome again to the late night show with Mike and John. I'm one of your co-hosts, John Expire here. And yeah, like social media, like this evolution of like the influencer, what is it, economy? It's just strange, isn't it? And it also comes hand in hand with the death of forums. Did you recognize that, Michael Phoenix? Did that ever cross your mind? What happened to specialized forums where, yeah, forums, you know, where you'd register and it's a whole bunch of geeks talking about one topic. Like I was part of a Haruhi Suzumiya forum, haruhisuzumiya.net, if anyone ever used that, way after the show died, but it was a very specialized place where people who love the show would talk, right? And you had, I don't know, like 3D overclockers, Tweaktown, I don't know if that's still around either. Hardware. Yeah, those days where, you know, you had forums, it was archived, it's on its own website, it's saved, it's searchable, it's indexed. What do we have now? We have mainly Discord servers, which are nice, which are useful, convenient, but you can't search that in Google. You're looking for information nowadays. The one place you're going to get it is on Reddit. And that says a lot when you have to resort to Reddit information. You know, I mean, I love Reddit, but it's always a mixed bag, right? So it kind of ties into that, like this weird evolution of the internet. It's sad. It almost makes you miss the dial-up days, you know?
I miss it. It was great, dude. You know, it was horrible at the time, right? But you dial up and you log into Ragnarok online and you know, you get to the grind, you hit some zombies or something and pay on dungeon. You know, it was so simple. Dad used to get upset because he wants to make a phone call but doesn't want to use his mobile phone because the mobile phone's too expensive. It's like, Dad, you can get the other service plan that allows unlimited calls, but no, of course not, because God forbid paying $5 extra a month back. You know, I could go on forever. It's just... God, I miss those days. And you know, the worst part was we were sitting there back then thinking to ourselves, one day the internet's going to be so great. We're going to have no lag. There's going to be no ping, you know?
Yeah.
And now we kind of got there. Not the ping, but the you know, the speeds got ridiculous. And now it's like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want it anymore. I don't want it back.
I mean, to be fair, I take the speed. There's no way I would not take the speed as we should. Yeah, you take the speed. We do have our on pause. Eventually something's going to happen as a TP comes in here. They've jumped low.
Oh, okay, low's down. What? Well, hold on. Was low even ready?
Well, they gave the go and ready, yeah.
Okay. Planet said go. Low did not, but Planet did.
Yeah, and well... Low's ready now. First blood bonus coming out for Palianytsia. Fortnite, man. Getting first blood. You love to see it for this off lane Palianytsia. And it's nice to see that. I don't know how long we've been streaming this already, but it's nice to actually be in our game. I already forgot what happened. Not that it mattered. We went 2 for 2 in bounties. That was it.
So, there's a highlight. Yeah. They got it.
Fantastic.
Very nice.
Just like that. Unpaused into a kill. Palianytsia takes that bread and chews on it. As again, they get themselves a good start. We take a look at mid lane. I'm gonna try to match your vibe, Mike. Mid lane, Han and Moonlight on the Invoker and Void Spirit matchup. This one's not too tough for Han. Should be manageable. Moonlight can still, kind of try to reach forward with Resonant Pulse, poke back, but it is a very easy lane for the Invoker overall. There's not much the Void Spirit can really do to try to apply pressure onto the Invoker. Rune control is going to be very important for Moonlight as well, as if he doesn't get control of the runes, well, the Invoker's just going to be happy right-clicking you down with no mana. Like, it makes no difference for Han. And that means, if possible, you might want your supports to even come in to try to help secure early on if there is room for that, or if there is a threat.
Well, top lane, a bit of action breaking out. Krekker trying to chase down Planet and New. Does think better of it as the cogs do wear off. Crystallize obviously just wants to secure creeps right now on the DK. And so no kill to come out here up at the top lane, but nice to see the aggression. I'm actually kind of surprised it's Palianytsia that's getting aggressive on this Clockwork DK lane, because it does seem like it's a bit more, say, passive with the DK pos 1. I would expect almost Planet and You to be the ones getting more aggressive in this off lane, but for now it does seem like they just want to sit back and relax.
Yeah, I think it's down to the fact that, New's bread and butter for harassment lane is the Rebuke. Physical damage here fairly durable on Crystallize, and even the Clockwork's not that soft of a target. So it can be a little bit difficult if they do manage to get on top of you and try to run you down, say, battery assault cogs. It can be a little bit tricky, especially for Planet if he's out of position, to try to equalize that position. It does lead to a little bit more caution there for the side of Azure. Are looking to poke down bot just a bit.
Trying to go after Low. In fact, Low's going to turn now with the razors out, and Fortnite Man will go down. The Fort just not powerful enough this time around. Unfortunate.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go for unfortunate, but, you're not going that deep here, Mike. I'm a little bit disappointed in you. It's right there.
I heard your bread and butter pun, by the way, earlier on at the top lane, John. I appreciated that. If you meant it, that is.
I didn't mean it either.
It was good. It was a good one, John.
Oh, thank you.
Probably because you just
it's a good
try.
start. I don't know when I even try, Mikey. My mind it's just nowhere. 1-1, this game is, well, going somewhere at the very least, very even at the moment. And you are, regardless of a slower time in aggression for you, still finding a lot more farm. Slightly, Crystallize is still keeping up. And all the lanes are fairly equal outside of maybe mid. That's where the biggest gap is coming in. And Han's starting to take over. Not much Moonlight can do, and again, because of how aggressive the side lanes are, there's not much room to rotate. Krekker does try to walk up for the 4-minute water rune to deny one off. And at least he should be able to secure 2 runes here for Moonlight, who desperately needs it to have some presence against Han. But even Han doesn't seem to care. He's just running down anyway.
Han gets the tornado off, still gets caught by that Aether Remnant, and now Han in a bit of danger. Krekker just locking him down to the cogs, but Moonlight has no HP to speak of, so he just needs to get the hell out of there, as Planet has also rotated over, and poor old Krekker is going to have to die. Han, of course, securing the kill as Planet will hand it over. And sadly for them, I mean, Moonlight, he just ran out of mana and HP. He had nothing left to throw out.
Yeah, and he doesn't even get the second water rune. Again, Han just playing very confidently. They've got the wards to protect both rune spots here for the Invoker, just to get that denial off onto Moonlight. And the mid is starting to pull ahead a lot faster than you'd want it to. Double Wraith Band timing is big for Han in terms of that right-click harass. And again, it feels like this tempo has to come in from Moonlight at 6. Try to connect into probably bot lane is your best bet. At level 6 timing's kind of stalled out, and you have nothing in lane. You're not getting bottle top up anytime soon. You don't have a bounty rune to go for. You're just kind of dead in the water right now.
Bottom lane, they're trying to jump the SF, but he's going to turn now with the TP rotations coming in, though. Krekker does end up finding a nice cogs here onto Low, so Low just trapped between a rock and a hard place, does end up dropping down. QBFY may fall, but it'll be well worth the trade for the side of Palianytsia. They do secure the position 1 SF. And had you had maybe an Invoker rotation to come in, that could have been a full wipe down to that bottom lane, but Han not quite ready to rotate.
And not quite. I do believe he didn't quite have the healthiest man pool as well if he did commit. Maybe not confident in how many spells he could throw out at that point. But the emphasis here from Palianytsia down bot has been fantastic, and they do have the right target in mind. And the SF, as we've talked about multiple times, if it falls behind in the Mask of Madness Dragonlance timing, it can feel a bit underwhelming. Mind you, again, it's a lot more forgiving this game. You've got Bloodlust, you've got Alacrity down the line. The SF is still going to be a big monster once some items start to flow in, but you are stalling that timing a nice amount here from the side of Palianytsia, while also getting a very free lane in comparison out for Crystallize. And we've seen the DK farming pace. We know what happens once it has Armlet, maybe an SNY or a Manta up. It can just overtake a game and just be super durable. It's going to be hard to burst down physically for the SF. You're not going to have magical threat, of course, for the most part, to try to burst down Crystallize from the SF itself. So I think you're happy with this game state on Palianytsia, even though, again, 3-2 start, slightly better for Azure, but you've slowed down the SF, you've got free space for Crystallize. Those are pretty much the key things for Palianytsia to take care of here.
Absolutely. Moonlight. Got a Copper Tornado EMP from Han. Could not get the Dissimulate off in time. It does take the brunt of the damage and the mana drain. A lot of emphasis being placed here from Azure to ensure this Void Spirit just never really takes off. Like you notice both Planet and of course our Ogre constantly around ready to go whenever, as Moonlight trying to jump in for a casual Astral Step, but just takes more damage than he deals. They are just really just ensuring that Han has a pretty free laning stage for himself. In fact, every lane so far has gone relatively well for Azure.
Yeah. Again, maybe outside of bot, considering the deaths there for low, but you are still in really good, strong state. Again, New is set to get this quick timing on the blink, and that's when the aggression should start to kick in for Azure. In comparison, the side of Palianytsia constantly trying to walk around that bot jungle to get some place. In fact, maybe it's Fortnite Man that starts to fall here.
Oh, he's going to try Fortnite. There's no way out of this one. New with a very nice setup, handing a free kill over to Low. And New still top of the net worth board anyway on the Mars, even with that rotation. And of course, again, Azure, with the laning start they have acquired, I think it should be a pretty dominant early to mid game for themselves. It just seems like every time their spells are off cooldown, they should be able to make plays. And even like Low, who did die a couple times down to that bottom lane, he's still second in net worth. So this +1 SF, he's not having a bad time whatsoever.
And he isn't. And again, the emphasis from Palianytsia was on point. Just giving away one kill like that from Fortnite Man does completely change the position overall. Although...
Oh, New's in the middle of nowhere right now. He's top of the net worth board, but he's going to hand all that gold away. QBFY to pick it up, and... well, that's a big one. They just catch him by the twin gates as he was trying to rotate back up towards the top lane. Meanwhile, Fortnite Man will die up bottom lane, but they are still rotating, trying to make a play onto Low. Krekka's trying to find a nice cogs. Requiem will not come off yet. Low's going to try, but Moonlight is in to try and help out. Low's still surviving, still trying for the Requiem. Never gets it off, but they might still wipe them anyway. Han's rotated over. Crystallize trying to back his way out, and he will be okay as he's just a bit too tanky to deal with. But it is still going to end up being a 3-for-1 trade down at that bottom lane in favor of Azure.
Works out quite nicely for Azure. Great timing for them to just clump in. I'm a little bit surprised Palianytsia still went through that gate. Like, you saw them. They should have figured out if they don't show in the lane, they're definitely getting that rotation. We'll get the bonus right there, killing off our Ogre Magi as well. But it's not enough to compensate for it, right? Like, you're getting a lot going here for Han. He's going for a Dragon's Lance as well over the Witchblade, you tend to see. So he's going to have a little bit more reach in stats. Still the pressure's on Low.
Low. Oh, he TP'd right back to the tier 1 tower, but props to the boys on the Dire side. They were just ready for it. Just casually waiting for Low to make the TP rotation back down towards bottom. And, well, suddenly Crystallize is top of the net worth board on this DK. So concerning signs for Azure, considering how good of a start they have.
Yeah, it's not, again, not a meaningful lead just yet, but it is bouncing around off the back of all of these pickoffs. The emphasis is there from Palianytsia, and they are looking to play fast. And they're just committing for this bot tier 1 siege with their DK. Top being sieged up by Azure as well. Only QBFY to try to stall this one out. Does have the Terrorize ready at the very least. But you do have the numbers on Azure if they want to go. Still a little bit slower in comparison to what DK can do on the siege. And they've evened out the game in Palianytsia. In the initial tools are set up. Crystallized already has the armlet, can start to take part in early activity as well with nothing to worry about on the regen. Some poke onto Moonlight, out of mana once more, just a constant nuisance onto Void Spirit. And they do use that space to slowly but surely clear out the top tier 1 as well. So both sides occupying the opposite side of the rivers and looking for some farm. Again, for Azure, you need some items up and low. And that is the one thing. He needs a Mask of Madness, he needs a Dragonlance. At that point, you could start to consider a little bit more. Whereas Palianytsia, I mean, the DK with Armlet's already in a good spot. He has really great natural farming pace with his innate and with his fast, of course. So it's just set the scale a little bit more. I am curious to see what they go for after these BKBs, as they will go for the smoke play. Bolts are back up outside of Dragon form.
There we go. I mean, having a look around, mid lane is where all the action seems to be breaking out, as they have found Planet. Nice start here for the side of Palianytsia, but here comes New with a nice arena. Tornado, they're landing on two, making it a little bit awkward of a fight start. They haven't really gotten the initiation they were hoping for an Azure, so it looks like they just need to retreat. Again, I think that Tornado made it a little bit awkward, because it made it so New couldn't really set up for a nice spear in the arena.
Yep, missed out on the opportunity just a bit. You're not hurting most off the back of that pick off at the least. You know, the Grimstroke dying is not the biggest deal in the world, but it does, again, considering the network lead, slight changes like that can kind of tune the timing just a little bit better there for Palianytsia. Still, Mask of Madness now up on low, so some initial timings being met. Still probably looking for the Dragonlance before you start to get really comfortable in this game just yet. And that's gonna take a little bit more space. The side of Azure 8, I mean, they've got their own Dragonlance up on Han. Still going for their own BKBs now onto Neo, which should line up with the BKB timings that Palianytsia is looking for as well. So make a move onto Cracker.
Cracker, just a bit of an awkward movement there. John, I think he's just trying to do something to save that tier 1 tower, but ends up just popping cogs and ends up dying. So just not really much impact with that style of play. That's all right. We've all made our mistakes. Well, it seems like Azure now looking to infiltrate that dire triangle and see if they can find some more targets. Perhaps already looking to run down towards the bottom lane, where there are a couple heroes hanging about. QBFY and Fortnite Man both around the area. New's gonna have a look around, but he will get distracted by the creep wave, so would rather just farm that instead. And it seems as though the rotation doesn't really amount to too much. Everyone's gonna be just fine on the Dire, but they are still gonna smoke up as 2, make that 3. They will huddle around Heart. Rotations now into the Dire jungle. They did see Crystallize farming that area. He was underneath vision. But he gets a read on the map. He knows they're smoked up somewhere. And just retreats back towards his tier 2 mid tower. Can they still get him though? I don't think they're even going to try.
No. Arcane Rune's pretty big here for Hondo. Although,
oh, but a hook shot. Krekker. Very nice hook shot. He was underneath the sentry here on the Invoker, so he's trying to run with a nice arena from New. Buying the space hard. He'll survive. He'll reset even. QBFY and Krekker both gone as they finally deal with this Invoker, but it may cost them Fortnite Man. In fact, it will not. Fortnite Man with the Blade Mail does manage to get his way out. So really not too bad of a trade. Like, you give up 2 supports, but you do catch the mid Invoker. I think overall you won't be too upset about that as the Dire side.
No, you get exactly what you want. You get a little bit more gold for 2 losses on your end. You're in a very happy spot for Palianytsia. You don't really commit too much either. So you just go back to farming. You lose your supports. It's fine. Your cores get to soak up a lot more EXP that they do need here. Side of Azure is not really pushed back though. They have a nice sneaky ward by the camp. Gonna try to connect onto this, but it's only Ticho that's up forward here.
They are looking at Moonlight, and Moonlight is underneath vision, but they are unable to kind of break the gap here against the Void Spirit. Still, I mean, you do have Pichu and Planet kind of having a look around, but not going to find too much. Still, they are starting to slowly push out that top lane. They have, of course, bought time for Low to get back towards the top of the net worth board, as now Moonlight is showing at that top wave. Jump in, you're going to find a nice spear, locking him down long enough. Moonlight still barely alive, but not quite for long enough. He is gone. New is in the cogs right now, needs some help to come. He's still a tanky boy. He'll land a nice spear and a tornado coming in into the Requiem of Low. That'll be Fortnite Man down. Arena is out, finding at least the Dark Willow on top. And QBFY gonna get sniped by New. Onto the T2 top tower, Azure will go.
A great connection out from Low. Again, he's got that timing up now. Dragonlance at the ready. He's got the reach. He's got the stats to show up in these fights. And they've got the levels up in Bloodlust. I like this build from Picho. Bloodlust being maxed out next. Just the value point in Ignite. Focusing on Fire Blast and Bloodlust. Wanting to just buff up his Shadow Fiend as much as possible. And it is paying off. Allowing Low to connect. Allowing that early activity to kick in. For Palianytsia, these BKBs have to come in. Right? Crystallize is not going to be comfy without it. You're not going to be able to get the smoothest pulverizes off for Fortnite Man until he gets the gold for his BKB as well. So you're just going to have to sit back and look for some opportunities, sure, but you can't afford to overcommit. As again, Azure gets a very nice late angle for Low, and they still have that vision right by where the tier 2 was. It's a hard ward to spot right outside range of a sentry if you were to plant a sentry on the cliff. It gives a lot of info if they do want to keep playing top there.
It seems like they're just going to buy a bit more time for Low to get that Hurricane Pike up. Crystallize working towards his BKB at the moment. The DK is still going to be pretty problematic. Like, we've seen this hero do a lot of damage with 0 damage items. Just having a BKB literally allows him to be online pretty damn quick. But against this right-click SF with Alacrity plus Bloodlust, it could be a little bit too tough of a task. We'll have to wait and see. Mid lane, Krekker in position to break any smokes. Does actually end up seeing Han, I do believe, there for a moment, but won't be able to catch him. Han will pick himself up a shield rune. Meanwhile, Fortnite Man top lane could get caught. He's in the middle of nowhere here, trying to secure some farm on this Primal Beast to get his own BKB, but it is going to cost his life.
Nice and simple kill for the side of Azure. Again, pounding on one of the weak points here for Palianytsia. This ward just exposing such a great lane to constantly rotate in. At the least, again, they don't put Crystallize up there. Fortnite Man is getting short end stick. They are all across the river. Planet.
Krekker. They're at least going to find Planet. Planet, I mean, still surviving a little bit longer. Buying time for New to move in with a Requiem to follow up from Low. Terrorize was out, however, buying space for Moonlight to get away. They are bringing Crystallize in to try and help out here on the Dragon Knight. He does have his BKB up, but won't feel the need to pop it. They will give up the Grimstroke and the end here for Azure and find no real trade for their trouble. Yeah, it is a support Grimstroke. I'm sure they're not too concerned by it. Though you might want to start getting a little bit concerned about this Crystallized DK, because he is just about 100 gold behind the SF now.
Yeah, and he's got that BKB timing up, so you can't pin down the DK as easily as New.
Well, they can pin down the Mars. You're going to go down very quickly as Azure unable to rotate quick enough to actually address that issue. And again, I think this DK now, it might become too big of an issue to deal with really soon. Crystallize now officially top of the net worth pool.
Yeah, and again, just with the BKB, like you mentioned, the damage just flows in. But how tanky this DK can be up front with the lack of BKB pierced control outside of Soulbind, it's going to be a relatively free ride for Crystallize as long as his team sets up for him in these engagements. Still, Azure, again, they hang on to this really sneaky vision up top. The tree line is back up, so not going as far as you'd expect it to, but they know Fortnite Man was in the area. They got a short glimpse of that.
Han's having a look around. He'll miss out though. Han not going to be able to quite see him in time, and Fortnite Man just gets on the high ground of his base. So we are seeing Low now working towards his own BKB, which is naturally going to be very, very important this game. Manta available on Moonlight. He'll be going for an Ags next on this Void Spirit.
Oh,
by the Twin Gate, Crystal was trying to force a fight. Hookshot actually landed on Han, I think, but the Tornado put a stop to it as Krekker's trying to chase after this Invoker. Dust did connect TP away. Aether Remnant perfectly placed by Moonlight. They're going to find themselves a very nice kill on this mid invoker. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, they have given up Fortnite Man again. But it's a sacrifice you're probably willing to make here if you are Palianytsia.
Yeah, don't mind that too much. Again, the invoker's worth a little bit more in all things considered, but there's an opening for Roshan here.
Are they going to twin gates? Crystallize, he's coming.
They are.
Okay, he sees the Ogre. Goes right after him. Soulbind is out immediately. PQ still fine for now. New's going to jump in. The Ogre does finally go down. In fact, this Mars has no arena nor spears, so New needs to get the hell out of there. And they're the actual ones dropping. Low now being chased down, gets caught by the Aether Remnant of Moonlight. A very interesting scenario here, John, because it felt as though Azure had prime position to take the fight, but turns out they had no spells ready.
I mean, if they had no spells, they could have easily backed off. Heck, they didn't even have to have Picho right by the gate. They had News Courier watching right over the gate, giving a little bit of a vision radius to actually see if it's being popped. And they still chose to stay in the area. It looked like they were undecided, almost, on the side of Azure, whether or not to try to take that follow-up fight. And it does cost them. Bigger kills to come out there for Palianytsia, a 2.4k gold swing in their favor. And they do equalize the game, less than 1k net worth lead for Azure. And we're at the point where we should start to talk about timings. We talked about Azure, how high tempo they have to play, how they have to utilize this SF. We're 22 minutes in. It's not dire straits yet for Azure. This SF is still strong into the BKB time of his own, and there is still some output to play with Alacrity, with the Bloodlust for sure. But if this game drags on into, say, 30 minutes and you don't have a net worth lead, you're not knocking on high ground, 35 minutes, and you're not able to take a tier 3 or a Rax yet, this line of Palianytsia gets better and better. Again, this DK scaling up, it's just a beast. And it's a little bit surprising we don't see as much of the DK in comparison to, say, about 2 months ago. But this is still one of the bigger carries that you can bring out. And Crystallize, he's getting full advantage out of that. Clears out the Tormentor, free shard for Krekker, barely staying alive as well with that, but has the armor to toggle at least. So now you have the jetpack as well in the Clockwork to scout out and cut off these fights in even more awkward angles. Azure, once these BKBs that they're trying to go into are up, they have to be able to play into the side of Palianytsia. They have to be able to get that chain control, try to burst down Moonlight, and try to isolate Crystallize as much as possible. Those are your two best bets. Take care of the jumpy Void Spirit, isolate out, and ignore the DK as long as possible while the BKB is running, and just try to go from there.
BKB a couple hundred gold away for low now. Roshan still available for either side to take. Moonlight now about 1.7k gold away from having the full Ag Scepter available in the Void Spirit. Roshan obviously going to be an extremely important objective for either side in this kind of close matchup. Still less than 1k net worth lead here for Azure, but it has been switching pretty often. And it seems like Palianytsia is going to be the team that starts Roshan. Question is, do Azure want to get over here and try and counter this?
I feel like they could if they have a read on it. They will smoke, but they're heading top. It's going to be too late to get that gate usage across. The scan is there, but Rochefalt's way too quick with the damage from Crystallize. Now you have a secondary life out for Moonlight. He's 1.2k away from the full Ags as well. It's getting a little bit frisky for Azure, and it's not the comfiest spot with how well Palianytsia has found some openings. You know, especially in that, again, that gate fight was just so awkward for Azure. See how much they can capitalize on that Aegis. Straightforward push lined up here bot. And then tier 2 top's already gone. And, you know, Azure is not going to fully threaten for tier 3, but they are looking to find anyone hanging back for a defense here.
Here we go. I mean, Azure want to try and force something. We'll move on to the high ground. Keep in mind, with this SF, with all the buffs you can provide him, he's going to take these towers very fast. Glyph will be forced though, and that's going to be enough to force Azure back. They don't seem to want the direct 5v5 team fight anyway with the Aegis up here on Moonlight. Though it might be worth taking it, to be fair, because he was still 500 gold short of having the full Aghanim Scepter. So next fight he will have that up and available. It's going to be a 4-man smoke, in fact. They're going without the axe. They just said, screw it, let's go. Azure, though, may have a read. They're hanging by the tree line in the mid lane. They seem to understand the smoke is coming. Planet was scouted out. Crystallize looking for more. New, though, with a nice arena, catching out Moonlight and the Void Spirit and the Snowbind, locking two of them together. Chaos Meteor down to boot. Meanwhile, Krekker, he's been left on the side by himself with Low, so Low should be able to find him, but no, the side steps. Krekker just jukes the crap out of Low. So they lose 2 for nothing on Azure. Not even the Aegis being lost here for Moonlight.
That position's nuts. Han is still in the firing line here if he's not too careful. Just a little bit late in that sentry. Not going to get that additional punish, but rather awkward for Low. He gets hookshot, great isolation from Krekker, but he was still in a position where he popped BKB. He could have run towards the arena, maybe start to look for a Requiem to try to turn. Instead, just opts to play tag with the Clockwork. Doesn't have cliff vision as well. And just loses everything. A 2k lead coming out for Palianytsia. They don't quite translate those kills into objectives just yet, so they're not able to go for the tier 2s at the very least. But they are in a position where they've got triangle control now with his forward ward. They still do not have Dragon Form, but it's only 30 seconds away. And now that full Ags for Moonlight is up. That silence, that Resonant Pulse is going to be devastating. It's going to force some earlier BKB usage than you'd want to here on the side of Azure if you're not careful.
It seems like Palianytsia, they still want to move in. They want more kills. In fact, they might have spotted out Han there for a second. Dust, it's going to connect. They've caught the Invoker. BKB out from Han. Actually ends up getting away as Fortnite Man never gets the Pulverize off. Instead, they could try to focus down New, and they will throw the Pulverize at him on the Mars instead, though New is still perfectly fine with his own BKB. It actually holds on to the arena for now as the SF Low. Low's been caught. That's not good news, Low. He's gone. Another great fight already here for Palianytsia, as they're going to find New as well on the Mars. New will drop 3 for nothing. Azure. This SF, John, just constantly being caught out in the middle of these fights. Horrible news here for Azure. They just don't seem to be able to find a fight that works their way.
Yeah, it's just really awkward right now for Azure. You have to appreciate the vision game and just how well they're using this Clockwork on Palianytsia. Every single rocket player that connects, they manage to utilize that information to look for the flank, to look for this angle in, and they still hang on to the Aegis. And all of this long reach from Palianytsia is forcing out, again, very awkward BKB usage out from Azure. Just in moments when you don't really want to pop because you're not ready to commit. Like Han pops his early, New pops his as he's being jumped, gets pulverized anyhow. Low's not able to pop his, as I believe it might have still been on the tail end of cooldown, or he was just chain stunned to death. And suddenly you have a 7k lead up for Palianytsia. And again, we go back to this talk about timings. We're at 30 minutes in. Your tempo in Azure has completely disappeared. Your threat onto the high ground was there only for a very brief moment. You have to deal with a DK with a full Daedalus up. An overwhelming amount of damage from Palianytsia. And Azure, their timing is starting to taper off. Like this SF, yeah, he's going for his own Daedalus. He could try to upgrade into a Satanic with Disassembly. Maybe consider a Butterfly before that, or a Swift Blink. Those could be some options, but it gets harder. You are not as durable as a DK is, and you don't have splash damage like Crystallize has when everyone's clumped up here.
Seems like it might be a matter of both sides waiting for the next Roshan once again, but Palianytsia have ended up with a 7k advantage their way. Certainly looking like the much stronger team now against Azure. And look like they might pick up their first win of DreamLeague Season 24. Very soon, in fact. We'll see. If they can put a little in this game, that is, of course. Azure want to have something to say about that, because they're still fighting for their position in the group stage. Tier 2 bottom tower. That'll be dropping pretty darn fast thanks to Crystallize. Meanwhile, top lane. Well, you know, he is in DreamLeague Season 24. John, he's here.
He is. You can't. You got to look forward to the Crystallize match if that's a possibility.
Oh.
That would be great.
Yeah, CCNC versus SCCC kind of match.
Oh, I miss those matchups, man. Always great to just be very confused in the middle. I don't know if I do. I don't actually remember, Mike. I can't remember anything. I can't speak English either. It's difficult. I'm straining myself here, Mike.
In fairness, you weren't the one that had to like say these names at a fast pace over and over again.
No,
so you probably really did enjoy it.
And I'd still mess it up sometimes, you know. But I'd always have a little giggle in the middle. Yeah, thank you, Mikey. That's your moral support for you at the back line, laughing at you.
Yeah. Bottom lane. Azure, they are as 5. Crystallize is not there yet, but he is TPing down towards his bottom tier 1 tower to rejoin his team. Meanwhile, a new forced pop of BKB does get the TP away. They have found Planet to boot. Planet popping the soulbind, but will still end up going down, of course. Crystallize actually using the dragon form, trying to find some stragglers. Won't find anyone quite yet, sadly, but this game again is looking more and more challenging for Azure. Like it just nothing's really gone in their favor recently. I think this secondary Roshan going to be extremely important to try and counter here if you are Azure, but considering the way this game's gone, the 7k deficit you do have, I'm not sure if they're going to be confident enough to try for it.
Yeah, it's a tough one to commit into. And the BKB usage from you, not ideal. If you're lucky, it's a longer spawn, so you might not need to worry about it all too much here on Azure. You might have enough time to get the BKB back online. You've got the dataless timing at the very least here for low, so the physical damage is set to go. This is the peak of the SF now, outside of maybe a butterfly pickup down the line, but he's forced to go defensive into a Linken's. And again, lucky for Azure, a longer Roche. A minute 40 left. So by that time, surely they'd have the BKB off cooldown unless the fight breaks out in a very awkward time here for the side of Azure. Still, again, utility is just starting to stack up now on both sides. The full Shivas is there for Fortnite Man. Smoke out for the side of Azure off the back of that dataless though. And BKB's coming off. Can't translate this into Roche, but a win here should still help equalize for Azure just a tad bit.
Big smoke wraparound through the bottom lane. And Palianytsia, they seem to know something's coming. Like they're very well aware that there might be a smoke. Nice scan on Moonlight. He just came through the twin gate and immediately gets scanned out. Still though, a lot of hesitation from Azure. They don't seem to really feel too confident running south. Hoping perhaps that the dire side runs into them instead underneath their own vision. Both sides are a lot of patience. Roshan 30 seconds away from spawning, so if you do win this fight, Roshan's basically guaranteed for either team. Scan out again onto the Roshan pit. We'll catch Crystallize, and that's going to be another smoke committed by Azure. They've got to get there. They think Roshan's happening as we speak. But this is going to be fighting into the vision. Azure. Oh. Through the twin gates they go. Hold on a minute. All right, they're out. Krekker's out as well. Nobody gets caught. Roshan, I guess he walks up top in 20 seconds, right? But that's 20 seconds too long, Palianytsia. You gotta get over there.
Oh no, they have to run back. They're running back. There's no vision here at the very least on Azure. Oh, there is now.
Oh, Moonlight! He snatches it! They've got the Aegis anyway! They've got the Aegis anyway! They knew what they were doing, John. No fight necessary. Roshan secured. We're good boys.
What the heck is all of that? What the hell happened there? Okay, there were a couple of things there, Mikey. First thing, Courier came through the gate to deliver the smoke. Both sides bought 2 more smokes once their smokes were fading. Smokes of good old Krekker came through the gate. They smoked up again. And they sneak away on through the gate. They recognize that Roche isn't coming through. They go into the pit. The vision was just a tad bit too late coming out there for Picho.
Han's been caught here, John, on the Invoker, and it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage on Crystallize now with the Daedalus. Well, I think if you're Palianytsia, you're thinking about high ground now. I mean, there's no two ways about it. You might not have a Roshan. Well, in fact, they do have a Roshan banner. They even got that. QBFY's got one. Never mind.
They're separate. Not much to stop them. I mean, even look at Moonlight. He just does not care.
Oh, I mean, he almost dies in the process of jumping in like that. Low is still hitting very hard. They might want to wait out the dragon form. It's still 15 seconds till it's off cooldown.
Nice little regen as well for Moonlight to top back up and start to actually connect with the DK with his dragon form back up as well. What play do you have here for Azure? I mean, the arena high ground defense is still amazing. I feel like I've seen Mew stuck at 16 for at least what, 5 minutes now? Maybe more? Like, I swear he was 16 a while ago too, like way a while ago. Still level 2 arena.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
Palianytsia, they're still being pretty patient. I mean, Satanic is now officially up on Crystallize, just needs to bring it out on the courier. So another huge item here for the DK. And that should be enough to say, let's go high ground, boys. I mean, Roshan banner's available, Satanic now available. Everyone's basically reset and all spells are available to boot. They just need a creep wave, which they don't have at the moment.
Sneaky smoke here. I don't know what flank you can look for on Azure. You don't have forward vision to try to spot out Palianytsia. And they already break that smoke anyway, anyhow in low.
I think they're just
going
going
to
to
be
go
the
high
biggest
ground.
one.
They're just going high.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, all right, you guys want to be
What is
there?
that
Fine.
smoke?
Yeah, I
What the
mean,
heck is that?
What is this smoke? What are they doing? Get back to base,
don't know.
boys. What are you doing? I mean,
It's one thing if you had vision.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, at least it's only a T3 tower. It's not too big of a deal yet. They are still pretty hesitant to try and go after the melee barracks. I mean, they are still respecting Low's damage output. Inkswall's in, new. Nice arena set up on the DK. Moonlight's going to jump in and try and help out. In fact, Low is the one taking a fair bit of damage here. Low, he needs a way out of here. Hawk shot though, Cracker. Cracker's going to catch him. Low, still alive, barely surviving as he will take down the clockwork. But it's not really saving the barracks right now. Moonlight and Crystallize will still take care of it. At least the melee barracks will drop. And they will still hold on to the Aegis for another 50 seconds. So just go back for the reset. No need to rush the game. They'll walk away with an 11k net worth advantage and 2 buybacks being committed from Azure.
It's pretty big for Palianytsia. Again, very patient throughout all of this. They didn't even have to drop the banner for that one as well, so they have that access point for the high ground once more. Later on, probably going to be waiting for next Roshan though, in about 3 minutes again, right after the Aegis expires. Side of Azure, that all stems back to that smoke play. They go forward. I thought maybe they would try to plant forward vision. It looked like the idea was using Low as bait, but it's a very obvious bait. When no one else shows on the map, no one's showing up to clear out the bot creep wave, and your SF shows in lane, it's very clear bait coming out there for Palianytsia. And again, they're not in the base for this high ground siege. Although, Crystallize?
Well, Crystallize does get pushed back very far with the spear, and now he's actually in huge trouble. Crystallize not able to survive. He did not have his PKB up. It was on cooldown for another 10 seconds, and well, he did have dragon form, but without the BKB, it would have been rather hard to turn and try to reset with the Satanic. So a little bit too excited from Crystallize that time around.
And he was. A good punishment coming in here from Azure. Again, we're just a little bit outside our base, but did have the TPs to come back in. What a strange back and forth game. Like, Azure makes a weird move out. Palianytsia gets a little bit frisky to try to clear out a ranged Rax instead of just playing it safe on Crystallize. Cost them a little bit. At the very least, again, Roche timer is still 2 minutes away. Ample time to respawn on Crystallize. They are retaking map space on Azure, taking tier 1 bot. Can start to apply some more pressure onto tier 2s. Do manage to get the Tormentor going here for Palianytsia. A nice shard coming in here for Moonlight. So a little bit more utility there with a Remnant, a little bit further reach as well. But these objectives do melt fast. Again, with that level 15 talent the SF gets, with the Bloodlust Mask of Madness, it is quite a fair bit of damage. Does not take long to melt the objectives to equalize this game.
It's kind of the thing for Azure, right? Like, one team fight win would probably mean they can just clear out the high ground. But they have not been able to find that team fight win that they've desperately been looking for. It's just been evading them for the whole game, and well, I mean, at the very least, they do clear out the outer objectives now, so all T2 towers are gone, and it's a big gold influx for the team. Azure not out of this game quite yet. They're only 1 Rax behind. We are going to see smoke now. Palianytsia, they'll go as 3. Make that 4 with Moonlight joining. It's just, if you lose the fight without buybacks on this dire side, your barracks are going to absolutely melt.
Yeah. Just have to be cautious. It does still feel like the team fight on Palianytsia can be a little bit sharper. It all depends on how well they dodge out and use initiation. It all hinges off of how good is this arena, how many people can you spear up before the BKBs fly on, because that's all they need. You know, you give that burst window for low to just get like 3 right clicks off, they're probably dead, maybe 4 if you're not lucky with a crits. Still, a full side of Vice ready on QBFY, so they do have even more control coming in here with very low committal on the side of Palianytsia. They don't need to just commit with a Pulverize, and even a Fortnite man gets his side of Vice as well. So you are ready for that chain control to ruin the day of Azure if they're not quick on those BKBs as well. Roshan, 40 seconds away until we start to see who does get to snatch it away this time around. Last time around, Palianytsia did some fancy footwork through the gates. I don't know if they need to do that again or if they want to have to do that again still. Might be able to catch up on you here. A little bit of a sweep up top.
It would be a big pick off on you. You does not have gold for buyback either, but he will still TP away. He's fine. Just gets back towards the team. Roshan now 17 seconds away from respawning. There's a Krek is just hanging by the Roshan pit, just waiting for the respawn, as Azure now going to smoke up. Right behind Low, going right towards the pit, of course. Krekker will see the Roshan first, and the twin gate usage is going to be there from Palianytsia, so they do get there in time. A lot of vision around this area as well for the Dire, so pretty strong position for them to try and force a fight. Scan is out. Azure know they're there by the pit. Fortnite man, he holds the high ground. He'll break the smoke. Vision down. He'll get his BKB off in time to avoid the spear from New, and now the jump back in onto the Mars. They'd love New first. Meanwhile, Moonlight jumping in on the Grimstroke finds Planet. Planet is gone without buyback, and now the arena down from New once again, but it's doing absolutely nothing. Everyone is melting from Azure. And with that, I mean, Low, he's trying to fight this one out, but he is just getting destroyed by Crystallize. Completely destroyed. As New will try to get away, but he is also down without buyback, and even a beautiful Aether Remnant from Moonlight catching out the Invoker. 4 down. They could just rush for high ground if they really wanted to, but they'd rather play it safe and just take the Roshan.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough set of events again for Azure. Again, the angle for New, so much depending on how well this arena goes from our Mars, and just the perfect position from Fortnite man. They get the ward again, but just the spear arena, the BKB has more than enough time. New doesn't pop BKB, doesn't expect the sight of Vice, and so it gives this window in. The refresh arena is nice, but by that point BKB's already up. You lost the element of surprise. And the side of Palianytsia, they're so durable. If you don't get that burst window lined up for Low, you will lose the prolonged engagement in the trade. These types of Vices are causing so many issues out for Azure from Palianytsia, and they even have an amp damage rune now after that fight. Like, it's right there by the river. They've got an option to just rush high ground off the back of that. They ping it out on Fortnite Man. We'll refresh in a few seconds here if they don't opt for it, but maybe even unnecessary. Moonlight just gets this done by himself again.
He'll just move in. Amp damage rune is going to be found out by Fortnite Man. He'll take that for himself. That'll be your mid tier 3 tower being removed here by Palianytsia as they do go for the mid racks as well, and Crystallize of course will make very short work of it. New though, going to try and jump in, but no, he's been hexed up. Bit of an awkward start already for Azure. His Moonlight trying to find a target, won't quite. Fortnite Man in the meantime is forced to pop his BKB and get the hell out of there. They haven't really finished off the melee barracks yet either, so Crystallize wants to move back in and just quickly get rid of that while he still can, and he will. So now 2 racks is up, is Palianytsia. And they've got 3.5 more minutes on the Aegis. John, they could play it safe if they really want to, or they could start chipping away at that top tier 3 to put.
Yeah, I don't think you want to take too many risks. Dragon form about to fade. You can just sit out, wait for the next usage, look to re-engage at that point. There's not going to be enough time for big items for Azure to start to pop out. They're queuing up some Size of Vices now on Han and New. Just not enough space to really get that fully done here. Just need so much more. Heck, even as Ags we were talking about in Planet that you were pointing out earlier in the game, it's still not up. It's still about, what, 1.6k gold away, which again, you don't have room to farm when you're up against super creeps at this point. There's a full Ags up now for Crystallize. So he does have that Black Dragon form with the additional effectiveness on the Worm's Rat and the free panting, of course. And that is going to be pretty devastating for the side of Azure to try to play up against it. Crystallizes, he's been a beast. He's been given so much space, so much investment out from Palianytsia, and the investment has paid off remarkably well. And the tempo from Azure just never came online. They did knock onto high ground for a little bit, but now they just have to huddle around our last set of towers and racks this year.
They haven't even got the Ags on Crystallize yet. He'll pop the Dragon form anyway. In fact, no, they do. He had the blessing. Never mind. Crystallize. Taking it slow. Doesn't want to risk losing this game by throwing his life away without buyback. I mean, he's only 370 gold short of buyback, but nevertheless, you've got to be careful. Still has the Aegis up. New's gonna jump in. Nice speed. Catching up the DK once. New, he'll refresh immediately. Meanwhile, Hookshot catches out low on the SF, though SF is still going pretty ham with the right clicks, but is forced off out of there as they do find the first life of the Dragon Knight. That's one time. Cracker's gonna buy back. Crystallize looks like he wants to get out of there. No Dragon form available, so no need to stick around. And so Azure, they do successfully defend that top tier 3 tower.
That they do. No more Aegis to worry about. Crystallize. I mean, Dragon form can come back a little bit sooner. Double Arena, double Spear, double BKB from New. Not going to be a threat for quite some time. 2 minutes where you don't need to worry about that in Palianytsia. So there's still an opening off of this next Dragon form from Crystallize. And they should know that as well. Only 1 Arena usage, only 1 BKB, only 1 Spear. And that should give them some confidence. They are still holding the triangle. The side of Azure still hugging the high ground as well, despite having, again, no Aegis to worry about. They're showing a lot of respect for how much damage Palianytsia can bring out and how aggressive Palianytsia has been at this point in the game. 16k lead still being maintained by Palianytsia, 19 to 28. So we approach the 50-minute mark, and it's just like what we talked about earlier. You know, past 30 minutes, the game's difficult for Azure. 49 minutes, 50 minutes, it's really in Palianytsia's court now. It's on their half of the court. They've got control, and they call the shots.
What they do. Still looking to go back in. Hang around that Radiant Triangle here, Palianytsia. They've got all their spells back up again. Smoke is committed. They're going to hang about Crystallize, and in fact, they're going to 5-man smoke. New is not around. New is currently trying to steal a Wisdom Rune on the other side of the map. He does have a TP ready to go, though. Meanwhile, Palianytsia, coming through the bottom lane, could run right into Pichu, and it looks like they will. That should be the Ogre going down pretty damn quickly without buyback available. Meanwhile, Fortnite Man jumping right in, but running right back out as he's taking too much damage from low. They will lose Kraken, so Kreka dying back on the clockwork. And I don't believe this is quite enough yet to open up the racks here for Palianytsia. Just a 1-for-1 trade on both supports without buyback available. Not really the game-changing move they were hoping for. They still have to have half duration on the dragon form, but it seems as though they're going to back off once again.
Just take it slow. Wait for the next one. Not quite the opportunity they were looking for. Inside of Azure. Happy enough with the stall. Now they do actually get to finish up some of these items. A Lotus or a Lincoln sub for Han. The side of Vice for New still a ways off, unfortunately, there for our Mars. A Moonshard plus Ag's Blessing being set up here for low. And that can be quite nice, especially with him having his own refresh for the double BKB, double Satanic, double Requiem's can feel great if you can reach that point where you have an Ag's on top. So there's some plays starting to come back in here for Azure. But the map space is still just abysmal. Every creep wave just shoving in. They'll try for a smoke out again. They find an angle, find a straggler somehow. It's like you said, like despite being so far behind, you just need one big kill, one big win, and high ground can still melt here from the side of Azure.
It really can quite easily. But they need that big win to make that happen. The opportunity is not going to show itself, that's for sure. 52 minutes into the game now. Roshan, of course, still 48 seconds till we find out when it is going to respawn. Azure prepping to try and get towards the Roshan pit, but Palianytsia already around the area, getting the wards down while they still can.
Radiant are scanning.
See if it's going to be an early or a late Roshan timer. You've gotten to that stage as well where Crystallize is just basically 6-slotted. Like, he's holding 7.6k gold, but I mean, you could switch out something for the treads and maybe even the armlet. Might be time to consider buying like a Moonshard or something very soon.
Nope. It still has
late Roshan timer as well. 2 minutes 10 seconds.
Have more time to try to recover here on Azure. At least try to get that build up. New has shifted. He's going for the Abyssal Blade instead of the Side of Vice, which I suppose could work as well. It's an idea here for the control. I'd say the movement speed of low without boots is quite horrid. And 344 with a Bloodlust at least, but without that, I mean, it's just a little bit quirky. No blink to compensate for that. We're solely relying on Hurricane Pike. Could be a little bit annoying here for the SF in terms of finding a position. We'll see. Maybe, you know, God help us, if we reach 60 minutes, you could hope for Force Boots, and that could fix it.
I mean,
if we reach 60 minutes. I mean, you know what, Mike?
Like
I was checking Reddit. Yeah. You know, and people are like, why are Mike and John getting all of these 60+ minute games every day, at least one? And so I was like, yes, why? Why? This could be the one, Mike. We're due for it. This is about the time where we get an 80-minute game.
I knew it was coming, dude. I've slept like 9 hours in the last 3 days. I just can't catch it. These games are ridiculous. Everyone's dragging games out for 1 hour plus. At the very least, we're having our fun, John. You know, it's fine.
Oh yeah,
it's
we're
our
baking
job. We're
bread.
having a great time. Yes.
Yeah. You see, you've listened to what I've said. You have to love what you're doing, Mike. And now you see it. You see the love. Absolutely. That's what I love to hear, Mikey. Well done. Well done.
Radiant are scanning.
A late Midas for the Ogre. This is base. This is what you want to see. This should have been 20 minutes earlier. Good old Picho. But he is a gamer. He remembers how to game, and he has a Midas in the Ogre. Into a Side of Vice. This is it. If we drag this game on for 10 more minutes, it's going to be there. Maybe less.
It does allow you to clear out the creep waves a lot faster too, right? Like if you do end up getting megged, it is a nice way to clear the creep wave just based off RNG. If you think about it that way.
It is. You're thinking so much now, Mike. I love it. They'll take Roshan here in Palianytsia. Azure have no clear angle out. At least the Roar should notify them, but Roche is still set to fall with a free Ags up. Hand that Ags over to Krekker, I presume here. QBFY is not too bad, but he doesn't really have attack speed, although he is going for Massive Madness on our Dark Willow. So he knows the assignment, but Krekker will take it. He has the overclock. He's got all the rockets flying out. Palianytsia.
Overclock does make life very hard. Like, if you get a nice hook shot into a big cogs, like, just hitting battery assault with multiple heroes in your cogs is, it's not fun for the enemy, especially once they're at a BKB. It's, makes it very hard to get any attacks off, I'll tell you that.
And it is. It's ridiculously annoying. And the uptime of overclock is kind of ridiculous as well. 13 seconds, 50 seconds CD. It's up there more often than not. Amp damage rune again. Moonlight will just pick it up. No bottles left. Not putting it in the backpack for utilization is fine. Fresh Aegis means high ground attempt should be opened up, but you do have that refresh ready on you once he works his way back, and he will. See how well this high ground defense this time around goes for Azure, or how far Palianytsia will push it. They're playing very conservatively as well. They know. You know what? Palianytsia, they know. They're like, all right, John and Mike, we saw these guys in the lobby. We know these guys get 18-minute games. Let's give them an 18-minute game.
I appreciate it. Here we go. Amp damage room pop. They're going to go after low. Low, standing his ground for now. You do have that Dark Portrait available on planet. He's going to be a bit wary of that as crystallized. Like, that DK illusion, it'll hurt if you get the Dark Portrait off. Here we go. Whoa. Arena down. They've already found the DK. It could be a very nice start. They've blown up the Aegis already. Fortnite Man in pretty big trouble as well. Needs to get the hell out of there. But another arena. They've caught the DK. Oh, crystallizes down. Twice, in fact. At least he does have buyback ready. But now QBFY will also drop. And suddenly, Jonathan, suddenly we might have an opening.
Yeah, we have an opening to maybe an 18-minute game. Outstanding work from Azure. This Abyssal Blade on you, man. This tech is crazy. Blinks right in, Abyssal Spear back. The Sight of Vice is what you normally see. He actually nailed it. It's like, it's an interesting idea. The cast range isn't that bad for Mars. And he just nails it. I was like, I don't think Fortnite Man had any idea the Abyssal Blade was coming in. Gets caught off guard. And again, he does what he needs to for this team. Man, high ground's open. Buybacks are there. But Low's damage will rip through these towers quite fast. There are fortifies ready at the very least. So it's not a major threat yet, but this Dark Portrait as well. It's so annoying. Oh yeah, no, it doesn't matter
very much, John, I'll tell you. There we go. You're finding out the hard way what happens when you lose a fight to this SF. Moonlight's going to try and jump in and delay things a little bit, but at least the mid-racks is going down. Azure looking to even out the game. Do take at least one racks, but they won't stick around for any more. They aren't going to risk it. Respawn timers are pretty low now. And you've got a minute till tier 5 items for the 3rd day in a row.
Yes, sir. We are getting there. How about, I wouldn't mind a Stygian Desolate for low, or, you know, the Force Boots idea is not too bad. And over the Giant's Ring is maybe the least likely, but the move speed can be nice. The added durability can kind of balance things off. There's the Sight of Vice now for Han that we've been looking for a while. An all-in smoke for Palianytsia. They still have buybacks at least, and they know there's no buyback for Han and you with these buyouts. So they actually sniped the Invoker and Mars. This could actually spell the end of the game if you're not careful on Azure. There
we go, QBFY leading the charge, looking for a nice Brambles or Sight device. Low. Does he not see them? Low! He's alright. They haven't got him yet. The 8th element does connect, but there was no Sight device to come out. From QBFY, he held out on it. Meanwhile, Planet does get caught in the Grimstroke. He's down, but has buyback as they do take down QBFY. Low, dropping low. He's down. The SF, he'll buy back immediately, though. They've got him once. 2 buybacks committed, 1 buyback from Palianytsia. Everyone back on the map. They want to go back in,
They
I
have
think.
time?
They still have half duration with this dragon form.
Scanning.
Ah, well, truly you want your tier 5s though. 60 minutes in,
Here we
find that Giant's Ring for Crystallize. Let him be
Go on, boys.
gigantic. Come on. I want to see him pop his BKB with a Giant's Ring. Let's get it done. See what you get. Side of Azure as well. And they know the assignment. They know their homework. They've got a tier 5 token up on Han. What do you go for, Han? What have you got? Mirror Shield. Very nice. Up against these sides of Vices. Mirror Shield for Fortnite, man. Magic Lamp for Crystallize. It's kind of sad. I mean, it's okay. It is cringe. You would have liked the Giants. Why couldn't we get Giant's Ring, man? Come on. I want to see the gigantic dragon. Can't we have a game with that, please?
We could have new Giant's Ring. You know?
I mean,
Big Mars?
Yeah, he's big. Yeah, he's big.
They do
He's
have
big.
they have an ogre, John. They have Bloodlust, don't forget.
It's big, but you know, it's no dragon covering your screen big. You know?
Well, but it could be, I mean, Bloodlust plus BKB plus Giant's Ring on a Mars. That's a big boy.
It's a big boy. It's not as big as the Black Dragon. This is actually legitimately Black Dragon is the biggest scaling hero model for whatever reason, and I believe Doom is up there as well. Mars, I believe at that point they did. I think they adjusted the scale of it.
Jonathan, who cares about Giant's Ring? Planet's got Book of the Dead up. This is a man that understands what needs to be done in this game. Planet's had enough. He's going to finish this game with the Necromonicons. I can feel it. Smart man.
Did he not have anything better? I think is the question to ask.
What do you mean, dude? It's the best item in the game.
Does he
Literally the
need
best.
a Book of the Dead when Low is around? Do you need it? There you go. Giant's Ring for you. There you go. Whoa.
Okay. Hold on. Bloodlust him. Bloodlust him.
Bloodlusted. Oi!
What are you
Peach out.
doing?
And he was like, lay. Bloodlust me.
Oh,
He's
Peach,
like,
you can't do this.
He's
to
not
us.
doing
Come on
it.
now. Oh my god. It doesn't even
reported.
It doesn't even multicast on you. Oh my
That's a
god,
report.
Peach. What's he doing? Oh. He used the fire shield on him. Like, it's like he's trolling him now. He's trolling all of them.
Look.
Bloodlust him. It's off cooldown. Oh.
Come on. Oh. They smoked into the high ground. They back off in Palianytsia. Look at that. The Necronomicon. The Book of the Dead scouts out the wards. Amazing. The value. Whoa.
He still hasn't got a multicast Bloodlust, by the way.
What are you What? What's the
How?
Huh?
What do you mean?
What are you
Haven?
doing? Where's the skill?
Oh, Moonlight, here's some skill. John,
Oh.
Moonlight's been caught. News got him. Fortnite Man, though, is going to jump in with the pulverize, but Moonlight's getting absolutely destroyed. He is gone, but he has buyback available if he needs it. They will pulverize once again onto New. New pops the BKB, still trying to survive, but eventually should go down and does. He'll buy back. It seems as though Palianytsia, they want to probably back out of here as the arena does come down, catching out QBFY. Moonlight, though, has ball back and jumps back in, but the Hex was immediate. Moonlight, he is dead. That's a dieback on Moonlight. Fortnite Man is gone, a bird. New still has no bloodlust, but it doesn't matter. He's doing all the work here on the Mars as Crystallize trying to fight back, cannot do it. He is down. For the love of God, bloodlust the Mars. Please.
Oh, what an outstanding fight from Azure. Again, you landing the shots. The Blink Abyssal Spear back. This maniac is doing it for his team, and he's not even getting rewarded with the gigantic Mars model. Unbelievable. At the least, Azure, I don't know if they're aware. Moonlight did die back, so they should be very aware. They could try to push for the end game. Buyback is available on Crystallized Dragon form, 30 seconds away. But that's 30 seconds where Low could at least clear out one tower already on those tier 4s. Will be forced to buy back early, but this is a scary spot. Palianytsia need to find a way to angle in without the dragon form for a little bit longer here.
Where we go, low. One, two, four down. It's a very quick
Dire's
process.
structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under
Here we go again. It's a 5v3
Oh, Lord.
situation. A huge comeback from Azure if they can make it work. There is an Abyssal Blade out on you. They'll jump in onto the SF. The arena is down, locking quite a few of them in. The SF low. Low's in trouble. Low's gonna fight back though. The regen is there. The Ancient of the Sea, it's over. It is over. Azure have made the comeback happen.
To try to sustain, harass, and farm with your Iron Shell. Why could I say that word, Mike? Iron Shell. You know, if you're gonna have to switch around, you're gonna lose your mana for that. So, doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't. I think again. I think as long as Low doesn't mess up, if he gets off to a decent start in lane, I really just don't see the answers. You know, I mean, sure you can stand there and maybe get a few right clicks off on this SF and eventually get through her mana pool. But it's like, think like you're against a Pango, a Lion, an Ogre. Like there's just an Invoker. Like there's so much disable. There's so many ways of allowing space for Low to just back off and kind of reset. It's just, we'll see what happens. I'm intrigued to see what Palianytsia end up doing to try and deal with this deuce of this game. But I feel like once you get to the late game, even mid game, I just don't see an answer.
Ooh. Good ward here from the side of Azure to spot the movement forward.
They're going to move in. Krekker gets the cogs off to try and buy himself a bit of space, but it is certainly not looking very good. Eventually, New looking for the first blood. Oh, New! Oh, he's diving. They've got it.
Not what you expected?
Planet will secure first blood, Jonathan, I'm sure to your delight.
Oh, but he goes Essence Eater. I mean,
Unlucky.
there's an argument for it in this game. I doubt you're going to be able to punch anything down. The cleave is nice to deal with some illusions, I suppose, and just farm up later on if you are expecting a longer game, but you get some utility out with Essence Eater overall. Still, take a look at these other lanes. We're going around, a little bit of action down bot, a bit of a poke and tag from QBFY and Picho. Bot lane for Ardusa for Low shouldn't be too bad. Not much Fortnite man can really do outside of farm, right? He has Iron Shell, he doesn't have a great Iron Shell companion, so you're gonna just clear out the wave, pull it back, but you're also not gonna be applying pressure onto Low anytime soon here. That's for sure.
Absolutely not. I think New should be perfectly fine down to this safe lane. Of course, up at top, Crystallize and Krekker going to be up against Planet and New. This could be a lane that does have a lot of action. It seems like a lot of kill potential from both sides. Don't really know who has the big advantage here. You know, I feel like Crystallize should have a decent enough time, but you land one decent stun here from Planet, it could be quite problematic because the SF is a pretty squishy target.
And it is not particularly the safest lane. You have a lot of reach here from the side of Azure. And once Planet hits say level 3, if he can afford to just go 2-1-0, you're gonna be very happy with that added damage on the Earth Spike. Going 1-1-1 isn't too awful either, but it does provide angles in for Krekker and Crystallize to punish. So you're likely not looking for that here. And a fine enough lane for New. It's a little bit tougher for Krekker to try to utilize the cogs. He does get one bounce back at least. And your farm on Crystallize is it's a little bit slower than you'd want it on these first two waves. It's already a little bit rough. You have to note as well, like this power spike you're expecting on SF as they're chasing down QBFY down bot first.
QBFY gonna go down pretty easily. I mean, you are getting a lot of damage on Low though. Low running out of mana basically, but Fortnite man, of course, unwilling to dive the tier 1 tower quite as of yet. But you do kind of set up, like there is an opportunity now. Once you have your Dark Willow back, if you can land a Brambles, chances are you probably could snipe Low.
If you can. No Basilius just yet on Picho, so no added regen here for Low. He is putting his body forward to cut off quite nicely. And again, the bot lane farm is flowing here for Low. Let's see if he can maintain that with his mana situation. Last lane we haven't really looked at as they'll get a shot in. Low loses all of his mana again. Not enough to really threaten the kill. Picho's in an interesting spot, just clearing out the Watcher, but
Yeah. I was a bit shocked he stopped for that watcher, but that's fine. He's a tanky boy.
He is.
All right. He gets away with it. How's mid lane going? We haven't really talked about mid lane at all. Like, in fact, hold that thought, because top lane, there is a bit of a jump onto this SF, but Crystallize, looks like he's going to be okay. The mid lane, Han versus Moonlight, so far has been favoring Moonlight on the Void Spirit. In fact, he's about 6 CS ahead of the Invoker, which I suppose is to be expected because the hero matchup, at least in terms of CS, is going to favor the Void, as Crystallize once again will find himself in danger top lane, but does not get taken down. He's all right.
Yeah. They tried to poke and prod a little bit down bot as well. No. Huh?
Oh, Crystallize. Yeah, he's gone. New secures. Krekker trying to at least catch this line, but it looks like Krekker might be another death, as Planet does have the Earth Spike out. One more right click. No, the stick charges, but he's got the vision. And he does secure. And you had the swashbuckle anyway, so it would have been a guaranteed kill. A very strong start here for the off lane of Azure.
Yeah, it's a very different game in comparison to game one. You were mentioning this mid, right? We saw Han and Moonlight play this exact matchup before, and Han was in the lead early on. Moonlight has adjusted really nicely between games, recognizing what he might have done wrong in lane, and is starting to pull ahead. Like, this is actually a significant lead for Void Spirit in comparison to game one, where I believe Han was about at the same position. He was maybe around 24-7, 26 or so, compared to like 19-18 on Moonlight. So it's kind of flipped just a little bit, but the side lanes are also a lot better for Azure now. So it feels like this game is just completely the opposite of what we saw in game one. You have greater side lanes coming in from Azure, but the mid lane matchup for Palianytsia, Moonlight has figured it out and is applying some good pressure onto Han. I am very curious how this game goes as we scale on, though. Like, going back to this core-to-core matchup of SF into Dusa. Because of how Mana Shield works, it's before damage reduction, right? So that also theoretically means that basically means before armor is calculated. Just the raw damage you receive, that's all you're going to lose on your Man Shield. So that also means that the minus armor of the SF is not going to feel as great into Dusa. Correct? Am I correct in thinking that way? Like,
I hope so.
You don't get to amplify it as well, right? That's what I assume. Sometimes there are weird exceptions where minus armor could add into it instead, for whatever reason, but plus armor doesn't. But that is the one thing. Into Dusa, sure, Dusa doesn't enjoy stacking armor, but she also doesn't necessarily need to stack armor because of how Mana Shield calculations work.
That's fair. Not 100% sure if that's how it works, John, but it sounds about right. I think you're on the right page. We'll confirm it some.
Always confuses me. Always confuses the heck
mid
out of me.
lane. We have the supports rotating from the bot to the mid lane, but not really much being done, of course. It is the 5-minute mark, so no rune spawning.
Fortnite Man?
Bottom lane, however, they've caught the darks here. Fortnite Man tries for a surge out, but he is gone. Planet will secure another kill on the line, and well, he's off to a fantastic start. As mid lane, Han's being jumped now. Han, he's only forced to fight back. He's got no mana to play with, but he's actually doing a fair bit of damage here to QBFY. And they did not have any mana or spells left either. In fact, now here come the supports. Planet's here with the Earth Spike. Fire Blast will land to boot, and Moonlight has no mana left. The Blood Grenade and Planet, no, he doesn't get it. It's going to be Han. But even Han with the Kobe on the Blood Grenade landing perfectly, and well, somehow Han survives the rotation from our Dark Willow.
Tell me someone saw that, not what
Man,
you expected.
now that kind of play always brings back memories of like 2015, right? When you'd have these dives on mid, Invoker gets the cold snap, your overcommitment gets punished. You don't see it too often nowadays, but you do see it there from QBFY. And that is enough to save Han's life and get the counter kill in return. Great movements out from Azure. This laning phase, very sharp from Azure so far. 6-0 start. You are finding some farm on Palianytsia, though. There is a lot of space for Crystallized, being left alone on the SF. Yes, CSing quite nicely up top. Moonlight, again, is having a better lane on mid, even though he dies. But look at this activity out from Azure.
Well, they can find QBFY, but there is Fortnite Man and Krekker coming in. They'll get a nice cogs off with the vacuum setup. Han's dropping pretty low. Here comes Planet though with a 2-man Earth Spike to put an end to all of this. The chase will continue. Cracker on Han. Han is down. Here comes Low from the side, but Low really doesn't have anything to offer right now, so he will see Planet die to boot. Moonlight with a double kill on the Void Spirit. Very nice rotations now from the side of Palianytsia. And, I mean, Low, it's a bit early for the Medusa to really offer any kind of help.
Yeah, you don't expect the Medusa to really fully go in outside of maybe tossing a grasp out. A bit of a deep movement out from the side of Azure. No one showing on mid. There is also a nice river ward that potentially spotted out that movement. So good punishment out from Palianytsia. And you kind of equalize. 3 kills on the board for Palianytsia off the back of that. Still getting some good space up top for Crystallize, although there was some gate movement out here from Picho. They can find a flank onto Crystallize. They do have the spells ready, but they are being collapsed on.
I mean, they're trying. Cracker, of course, still level 5. Doesn't have hookshot to play with, but he can just reach up to New. Almost gets there, but New does get the swash away. All these rotations, I mean, there's 4 heroes up top. I don't think it's going to really amount to too much. It's a bit early for them to try and secure the tier 1 top tower. A bit of wasted time here for the side of Palianytsia. Though Planet shows up now. Planet realizing there's a ward on the high ground, gets his own ward up there, but they're going to see him doing all this. So they won't make the jump in yet though. Moonlight not quite in position for the Astral Step to be committed. Still a big group up top lane. I mean, they're spending a lot of time here trying to maybe get New, but New has Rolling Thunder up now. He's not going to be that easy of a target. They'll get the brambles off. They'll try to burst him down. New, though, with the double jump is going to be okay for now. They're never getting the Rolling Thunder off yet. New swashbuckles away, but not quite. He is down. Now there's 5 heroes up top. As Moonlight asks for a minute because he needs a pause for whatever reason. But now they've brought 5 heroes up here, Jonathan. What's the idea? Are we going for the tier 1 tower?
They ought to at this point, but this massive commitment. A camera problem, and says Palianytsia. That is nice of them to actually sort that out. I know that's something that players don't necessarily think about, but they are sorting out. Very nice and conscientious of our Palianytsia boys. Still, it's a lot of commitment for top. I think trading this space away for Adusa free farming is highly risky. Again, you're reaching a point where Manta style is going to come out for low. At least the Yasha is set to come out at a decent timing here. They could go from tier 1 into the triangle stacks, which feels like the bigger objective overall. Cut this farm away from the Dusa if you can brute force your way in. And it is a pretty powerful point right now for Palianytsia. Right, they've got Vac Wall. There's 20 seconds where Pangalier's not quite there. Not the biggest window, but a window nonetheless if you can start to find additional pickoffs. And see if they can start to line that up. Because Vac Wall at this point with Requiem is still pretty damn strong. Have to show some respect for the clump up from Palianytsia.
Rekka still trying to find a few more targets to lock down here for his side. I mean, again, there's 5 heroes up here from Palianytsia, so they want something out of this. Planet's going to get caught by a nice brambles, but the Hex is out onto the Clockwork still. They are going to drop the wall as well. Planet, though, with a Ravage Earth Spike, landing on 4 heroes. And here comes Low, but Low's run out of mana. He gets bounced around the cogs. Whoopsie daisies from Low. Krekker's going to finally go down. Here comes New trying to chase down Fortnite Man. Rolling Thunder finally committed, finding maybe the Darkster, and he does. Moonlight in the meantime has an Astral Step charge, trying to go into Han, but Han's going to be okay. In fact, now with the Cold Snap out, Moonlight's the one in danger. Moonlight's down. The only unfortunate part about all this for Azure was they lose Low, who just kind of TP'd into the cogs.
Yeah, that's just a little bit wild that he opts to join in. I think there was pressure to try to clear out these stacks. They had the right idea as to what Palianytsia wanted to do with that full commitment. They wanted to contest the triangle with ward that they planted earlier. And they do force most of it to go to New, but the Ancients at least still stand. There is still some good farm that can flow here for Low.
That's a very awkward TP. I'm not sure if Low just kind of misclicked, because it would have been much better if he just went to the tier 2 mid tower instead. Even the tier 1 mid tower, but it is what it is. It happens.
It does happen. Again, maybe feeling like he could... Well, I said feeling like he could do anything. He doesn't even have Stone Gaze. Definitely a little bit of a misclick on the minimap, I suppose, at that point. At least if you had Stone Gaze, it would make sense. So, just a small mistake. Good punish from Palianytsia, but overall, still in a decent position here for Azure. Side of Palianytsia, though, not resting. They've got the wall back up on Fortnite Man. They're smoked up. They have the same flank onto top lane. See if they can find the angle they need.
Crystallize hanging around. He doesn't have Requiem for another 10 seconds. Hawk off the mark here from Krekker. They are still going to jump in with a wall. New is in huge trouble, and so is our Ogre. So both going down once again. Mind you, it's another big group up here from the side of Palianytsia. They've got all their heroes up top constantly. And they still lose the tier 1 tower anyway.
Yeah. And this is giving space to low, already starting on those stacks again. And it looks like, again, we have a little bit of an issue with cameras. Just sorting it out. Good old Wishy. Making them aware. Get that sorted nice and quick. Wishy might be our new #1 admin, Michael Phoenix. Who knows? Nah, Douglas still has that.
Don't let the boys hear. Don't let him hear about that,
John. Of course, #2, Nina. Have to give him a shout out as well.
Yeah, well.
#1 and 2.
I think you mean #3 now. Wishy's future.
Nina will murder you when he ever actually meets you after all these years. You know, it's funny. All these years, it's only from the circle of people we've worked in over all of the years we've been casting, outside of the other casters. The other casters, that we started with BTS on, we didn't actually meet yet. Our admin friends we haven't met yet. I think the only guy we met was like Ben Q. Out of all.
Yeah. How great's that? Mid tier 1 tower now under stage. Han with the alacrity just gonna get to quick work. TP rotation from Krekker. Krekker's going to take a fair bit of damage. Keep in mind, Finger is up for Planet, so he's looking for an easy pick-off here. Still jump in from Moonlight, not allowing it, but a nice Tornado and a Rolling Thunder now being committed. New showing up. Right after Moonlight, a very nice bounce as well. Krekker, still in pretty big danger, cops the Finger from Planet. Just wants the quick pick-off and get the hell out of there. Give me that stack.
Yeah. One stack up, can't find any more. No Fist of Death, but you're happy enough. I do like the way Planet's thinking about this game, right? Normally you want the blink, you want to be able to jump in Hex. It doesn't feel like they need it. He's going for the Aether Lens. He wants that reach. He wants to be able to get some key Earth Spikes from further away. Key Hexes away from danger. They're still going.
Moonlight's alright. They're not going to have the Fire Blast out this time around from our Ogre. In fact, now it's Han getting jumped. Han's gone.
Oh.
Unfortunate. The Dire boys, I mean, they're just like, well, let's go for tier 1s ourselves.
Yeah. We've got the Massive Madness up and Crystallized. There is some good damage to flow out here. If you're Azure, you're not too upset. Losing Invoker is pretty big, but considering Han's net worth, it's not the most bleed out here for the Invoker. In fact, it's a rather interesting build as well for Han. He's going for the Mage Slayer on the Invoker over your typical Witchblade or Dragonlance we saw in the last game. Having to go slightly defensive with some offense capability here. Kind of try to mitigate some of the early output of Palianytsia. So a little bit more of maybe a hybrid utility, tanky Invoker up front with some damage here. Not as much early burst in terms of a right click, but still workable for Han once he gets that up.
Oh. Planet running right into Krekker. Not going to be too happy about this. Planet. Yeah, he's gone. I mean, Moonlight's going to catch up. You do actually have a rotation from our Ogre, and New's actually showing up to boot, so this could be a pretty interesting trade. Moonlight's out of Astral Step charges. Here comes Low to boot, so they do take down Krekker. 1 for 1. Nothing else will come out of it. That'll be it.
That's a bigger win for Azure. They force out the wall in that engagement as well from Fortnite Man. Won't have that for a minute 20. It's a little bit of an opening. If Azure does want to get aggressive, they still have a roll on New. They're going to have Finger back off on Planet. It's the prime opportunity without the threat of back wall. Could just recommit. They're already lining up for mid. And with this little HP, without the threat of wall, Palianytsia will have to be maybe a bit cautious in the defense, but they are lining up for it.
Dire's middle tower.
Nice first fight from Planet. Initial setup is there. Moonlight getting deleted, and that's all thanks to that ward on the high ground. Because Moonlight is going to have to find out the hard way. There was vision. And now QBFY finding out the hard way as well, as he's going to get caught out by this Rolling Thunder of New. Sunstrike to come in. Deathwing Blast to connect. He's still alive, but for how much longer? The answer is not too much longer. In fact, they're going to move into Cracker as well. Cracker in danger. Cracker. Hookshot is out, but he's gone. Ooh, Planet does fine.
Yeah, great cleanup from the side of Azure. Like you said, off the back of that vision. And there's always something satisfying about when a finger just lands just right, you know? I don't know what it is about that. It's just satisfying. Planet's having a grand old time. 2 stacks. Every single time he's fingered, he's gotten a stack. And that's all you could ask for on the line. 16 to 10. 2k lead for Azure, mind you, isn't the most overwhelming. Still.
Whoopsie daisies, QBFY. Well, he's going to be okay. Barely, I mean. Oh, Han lets him know about it. And they still can't get to the ward. Even the sentry's right out of the range. It's okay.
Oh, man.
Wrecker's got one. Low. Joining his team. Crystallize going to show up as well with a TP. They'll try to move it onto the Yoga. It'll be 1 down. Hook shot. Very nice. Landing on 2. This will be a great set of targets if they do want to commit. Low in a pretty awkward position. Does pop the Stone Gaze eventually. Ooh. The Requiem will not come off. The Stone Gaze does connect, and now they make the jump in onto the SM instead. Crystallize needs a way out of here, but New? The Rolling Thunder immediately cancelled off, I believe. It doesn't really matter anyway. They do find Crystallize, and now they're going to find another. Fortnite man's gone.
It's a mess. It looked decent enough, right? Like Cracker gets a good cogs, hook shot onto 2. But there's enough time to react, enough time to get the Stone Gaze off from Low, and just ruins this Requiem you're gunning for from Crystallize, and just falls flat. The right ideas are there. You are seeing how much mana burn the cogs can have, but it's not enough. It's Cracker now.
Oh, poor old Cracker. Does go down. Can I say as well, I really enjoy saying Cracker's name. Very Aussie kind of name, I want to say.
I can hear it. I can hear it turn into Cracker. And on the R stays silent. Cracker.
It's an Aussie name. Yeah, Cracker.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I can hear the enjoyment there. Unfortunately, not a very enjoyable game for Cracker right now, but it is what it is. 22-11, 6k lead for Azure. That starts to feel a little bit painful for Palianytsia, right? Again, when you talk about SF carry, there's an early tempo you want to have. Hasn't really come out here for Palianytsia. We have seen the late game scaling SF kick in, especially once the level 15 talent's up. The threat onto objectives is there. It's just that it's a little bit harder when you don't have Bloodlust, when you don't have Alacrity on your side. It's still a threat, but it's not as big of a threat as it was in the last game. I think you have to kind of factor that in here as well for Palianytsia. And Azure, they're getting into a very comfy point of the game. Right, yeah, Low is still free farming. You're playing as a unit of 4. Cracker again.
Cracker. Not Cracker, John. Not my boy.
That's what happens, Mike. With your luck, anyone you do cheer for,
Crystallize?
It just doesn't pan out. What a sweet dude. He just stood there.
No, he wanted the Watcher, John. He went for the Watcher again.
He didn't care.
Fortnite man's gone. Oh, Crystallize not really too happy about his decision making here, as he probably would have rather just continued farming. They're actually not able to finish him off though. Crystallize still okay as the cavalry is incoming. Crystallize actually still in danger. This ogre just will not leave him alone. But eventually, surely he's the one to go down, and he will. They've got him.
Oh man, Pietro is a maniac. Running off,
sure is.
Channels on the Watcher, does not care for Requiem. It's like, Requiem? I want this Watcher. I don't care about that. You know, that's Ogre Magi gameplay. You know what? I love it when a player plays into what his hero does in lore. 2 brain cells rubbing together. They want that Watcher. They'll go take the Watcher, Mike. That's all you want.
Fortnite man. Running north. I mean, they seem to know he's there. Mind you, he does see Low moving in, but he won't see Han. Well, in fact, he kind of does Lee Han, doesn't he? He's underneath the sentry. Oh, hook shot, Krekker. He's in, wall will be dropped. Han in pretty big danger, needing some help. Terrorize going to land as well. He's got really nowhere to go, but try and fight this one out. He will go down. They'll trade with Krekker. Still a very good trade so far for the Dire End as they chase for a bit more now, finding Planet. Curse Crown going to be out onto Low. Low now. Oh, nice man to dodge. Low, give himself a chance to fight back as here comes New with the Rolling Thunder, moving into Fortnite Man. The Darkseer in big danger. Will go down. It's still a pretty good fight though for Palianytsia. Still definitely a good set of trades, but it doesn't seem like Azure are too bothered to back off. They're just going to keep going.
Yeah, perfectly fine to do so. There is still the Requiem threat from Crystallize. If you can line it up, you at least have one jump with one more ready to go soon on Moonlight, but no man to back it up. I love these wards from Azure. Look at that ward right behind the tier 2 into the hot tub in the back. Very hard ward to spot out, and it's going to give constant good information for Azure to keep getting these aggressive plays off towards that tier 2 tower. In fact, Azure does a great job of just defending these wards as well. Still holding on to the cliff ward here on that same top jungle. And just playing where they have vision. Azure controlling the map. Well, we're going to get to the point where Low's damage is going to be relevant. He does have the Crystallis coming out into a full Daedalus. So a nice quick rush here for the Dusa into some output. Again, plays nicely with all of the attack speed bonuses you get from your Ogre and from the Invoker. So that is going to be devastating for Palianytsia. Again, they have BKBs slowly forming up. I believe Crystallize has his flying out, but Azure already set to go with a smoke. Blink freshly done on you with his Ag. Not connecting here yet.
Planet unable to get the vision to get the Hex. In fact, he didn't even have the Hex. It was on cooldown. Which is why I don't think he could really initiate. Group up again here from the Dire End of things. It looks like they are going to commit for a 3-man smoke. Make that a 4-man smoke. Azure looking towards the Roshan pit now, so perfect timing for Palianytsia to try and get in there and counter this Roshan out, and it shouldn't really be the fastest Roshan attempt either. Like, you haven't really got too many DPS items in this Medusa quite yet. Once Daedalus is up though, that's a completely different story, but for now, Roshan, about 1/3 HP left. Palianytsia, they are here. Smoke broken on the Ogre. Hookshot is out. Krekker, it's a little bit early, but he's got a nice cogs off here onto Low. They'll drop the war. Low trying to back his way out. Does get the Stone Gaze off eventually, but the Terrorize is going to drag him back as Roshan is still alive, though very, very low. Han now in danger. Han will go down. It looks like Palianytsia may have successfully stolen this Roshan fight, as they're even going to find you now. Low's moving back in to try and fight this one out. A nice finger finding Fortnite Man. Low, can you really do it? The mana drain, it's not going to be it. A triple kill for Crystallize, and Roshan is basically on death's door.
Get a freebie out for Palianytsia. Great timing. I figured Azure would be much better prepared. Right, they get that scan on the flank right in the entrance point, right behind the tier 1 area into the small camp. They get the scan right there, and they don't respond quickly enough. Ward setup wasn't quite there, and get punished. Big opening for Palianytsia. Now they get to play around with their own slightly early spike coming through. You still have these timings lined up for Low, but it's a big relief for Palianytsia. A great BKB reveal here as well from Crystallize. The fact that you can't chain stun the SF does complicate matters here for the side of Azure.
Just what I was waiting for.
I think the one silver lining, of course, for Azure, it's all on Planet. He gets to live. He got a finger kill. It's not the best. I'm not justifying it, but hey, as the Lion, you know, Planet's like, hey, I'm pretty happy at least. At least someone's happy.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a Tormentor.
Aw, he even gets his shard. He's very happy. He didn't die in the Roche fight. He got a finger. He has 4 stacks without Fist of Death, and now a free shard. Everything you could ask for.
Indeed.
At the cost of his team. Well. It's fine. You know?
It's all right. That's fine. This team.
I will call him out,
for
though.
dying, John. Yeah.
I'll call him out here, Mike. He's going for the Boots of Baron, but he doesn't have Fist of Death. You know, it's like Yeah, if you were gonna go Boots of Baron, you know, you might as well be punching along with those boots. Get some cleave damage
Johnny.
off.
Oh, Johnny.
Hey, it's a good one. You know, it is a legitimate build for Fist of Death line. I'm not even joking. It's actually legit for Fist of Death specifically.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I'm a bit more upset he hasn't gone for a blink yet, to be honest with you. Like, you're up against
Right? See?
a Void Spirit.
He goes for these boots. He's going for drum boots first over blink. It's like, okay, if you had Fist of Death, I'll accept it. Without it, maybe a blink, buddy. Maybe a blink.
Radiant structures are fortified.
All about buffing the Medusa, as always.
Under attack.
That's the meta right now, John. It's basically 4 buff 1.
Dire's bottom tower
That's
is
it.
under attack.
That's good, Mikey.
Crystallized?
That's good.
He might need a buff here, John. Oh, nice 4-star planet.
Ooh,
Abusing the
that's
4-star,
dirty.
dragging him into the tier 2 tower. And the Aegis is already gone. That's 1 life. Terrorize
Everything
actually lands with a... the hook shot doesn't connect. I don't understand how that missed. Krekker's gonna get fingered here by Planet. That'll be his 5th stack of the game. Meanwhile, QBFY trying to move in, but he's gone a bit too far, I think, with the Dark Willow, so probably set to 4. Meanwhile, though, the Medusa is officially running out of mana, but she is able to force stuff out as they move in again.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Planet's
attack.
gonna start mana draining a bit more, John. I'm just not seeing enough mana drains here on this Deuce.
He was, but Low decided to manta off, you know, defensively trying to run away. You know, it's fine. That's a decent call from Low. A little bit unfortunate from Palianytsia, not just the start of the fight, but all of those big spells missing. Back wall connects on literally nothing. Low walks back through the side of the wall, not even copying it. And the hook also a very big part for how Palianytsia needs to kind of get control here. It doesn't kick in. And just that dirty 4-staff back on Crystallize, pushing him back in, chain stunning before he could get Requiem on the second life. The opportunities to go BKB Requiem, not that clear here for Crystallize. So Aegis advantage nullified. The lead is still within 3k, very much playable for Palianytsia, not a major advantage for Azure. You do have both carries at their Daedalus timing, at the least, so output is massive on both sides, but it's down to execution. And for the side of Palianytsia, it feels so much more important for them to play into this team fight strength. Because in a very disorganized fight, that's where Azure shines. You know, they're going to cut off areas with just the pure value of Rolling Thunder. You've got Tornado, EMP. You've got Stone Gaze if none of your big team fight spells from Palianytsia connects. And it's just chaos. Palianytsia needs to have that structured fight on their side. And it's all down to whether or not you can get that back wall, you can get that Requiem, you can get that hook shot from Krekker. And that just in that fight, kind of falls flat there.
T2 top tower now will be targeted by Azure.
Are fortified.
If will be forced out, but they're not planning to retreat. They're going to go for this. Nice easy
Is
T2.
under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Like a butterfly build up to come for Low. Crystallize going back for the full Hurricane Pike build up himself on the SF.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they are going to chip a little bit at the tier 3 top tower, but yeah, it's just illusions. Nothing to write home about.
Just a little bit of a nuisance. Still getting some opportunities for Palianytsia. Still have that 8-second BKB on Crystallize, and you're inching. You have your full Ags on Moonlight. Could be a nice way to start these fights now if they can find an angle onto the high ground.
Top tower is under
They're trying to move in now. Out already onto Krekker. Finger is out as well. Krekker though has jetpacked and is still actually alive. Though finally does go down as New is rolling right through all of them.
Ooh.
But New's taking too much damage. New is down. It's kind of the thing. If Crystallize is allowed to just sit there and hit you, the Rolling Thunder, it doesn't mean too much.
No, it doesn't. Not a lot of HP or armor right now, and New just gets ripped apart if he's not too careful into Crystallize. And heck, Crystallize didn't even need to pop his BKB. Like, he's in a very happy position, trading 1 for 2. A very good trade overall for Palianytsia, obviously, but again, they don't even have to commit much. Requiem was popped, sure. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Vac Wall was also dropped, but you can kind of sit back and reset. You get a good Ags reveal going here on Moonlight. It's still 2 minutes until the next Roshan timer starts to kick in. so you don't have any instant objectives to translate that win to. But you are getting more map space out and getting more farm, trying to gap close into this timing from Low. Mind you, Low is one part away from that full butterfly you mentioned there, Mikey. So he's set to just machine gun down once that's up. And again, just that evasion as well can be a little bit tricky for Crystallize when he's trying to focus in. Can cause a couple of issues in just how much EHP Adusa can have off the back of that.
Bottom lane, they might set up here onto Crystallize. Like, never mind, they'll just throw a casual tornado out. It's actually QBFY trying to move in for a Brambles attempt. We'll Earth Spike him up and Sunstrike into the Rolling Thunder and the Finger from Planet. So yeah. QBFY will get absolutely annihilated here by Planet.
Radiant's bottom tower
Very nice.
is under attack.
You'd love to see it. Planet's happy. He's a happy lion. 6 stacks, hits 15, gets a lot of HP. Not gonna do the maths because I don't want to. I just know it's a lot. Feels good. But the lead again, it's not really materializing for Azure. 2K, it's dwindling down. Palianytsia has again evened out. A minute until the Roche respawn timer. It's a daytime spawn as well. They have done a great job of shoving in bot, although they haven't set up forward vision here. So there's still play opportunities for Azure, not completely cut off. They still need their own BKBs to kick in here, right? Like Han does fully buy out. You're getting more armor now from you, stopping at just the Basher for now for some utility on the swashes with the shield crash on the Ags. So there's, again, some play coming in now, but Palianytsia, all spells off cooldown. No Roche should be coming out soon. Are going to go for that smoke, but so will Azure. It's all about who gets the flank. It's all about this Roche objective.
Fortnite Man might be the first target here. Smoke about to be broken run on Fortnite Man, and they do catch him eventually, but Fortnite still running. Chase is on. Earth Spike's actually going to land here from Planet. A very long range Earth Spike, and with that, Fortnite Man is down. But Moonlight has jumped in, trying to see if he can secure Planet. Terrorize also landing on the line, but he's perfectly fine. And instead, they're changing their mind and trying to go after the Ogre. They will catch him. Meanwhile, though, Krekker is going to go down, so a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Azure as they're looking towards Crystallize, who's moving very slowly through the tree line. But they're not going to be able to catch it. They won't be able to break the distance quick enough. Instead, Azure looking towards the bottom T2 tower, and perhaps the next Roshan, which has now officially respawned.
Can be quite a nice swing here for the side of Azure. Tier 2 into Roche. Doesn't take too long. Again, when you have Alacrity up on Adusa with so much damage, does not take that much for Low to shove in. They should be aware Roshan can be back up, but they'll get to snipe away some stacks here in the triangle as well. Mind you, Palianytsia did manage to drop some wards to watch Roche pit, but it's not on their own approach angle, or it's not on this approach angle into the Roche. Azure will chill out though. Again, they're still trying to play the map, shut down as much as they can. They still have time to just run down to Roche, which Low should be doing soon. Does have the ultimate orb for the Scotty up. Another smoke out though from Palianytsia. Vac wall still ready, hookshot set to go. This Roche fight can be awkward. If only the vision was maybe a little bit more towards the Roche ramp, this could be a little bit easier to play with. But Azure also anticipate a fight here.
I mean, that they do. They're waiting very patiently. Krekker gonna have his smoke broken, will jetpack away. Crystallize will have his smoke broken to boot, but Azure, they do retreat for a little bit. Moonlight's trying to sneak up from the behind, but a bit of a smoke behind Low now. Low will smoke with the rest of his team. Rocket Flare gonna give zero vision over the enemy. So Azure wrapping around through the Lotus Pool, going back towards the Roshan pit. They might find Crystallize farming or trying to take out Roshan by himself very soon. They'll see Fortnite Man on the Twin Gate high ground. They'll make the jump in, but the knockback onto the low ground. Fortnite Man's still fine for now as Crystallize pops the Requiem, trying to find New on the Pango. New actually trapped, gets to the high ground, back towards Fortnite Man. They want that Dark Skin, they've got him. Fortnite Man is down. Meanwhile, Crystallize very low in terms of the HP department. Needs a way out of the situation, but he's gone. He is down. Moonlight and Krekker will be able to escape, but Roshan now has officially been left for Azure.
Man, no shenanigans this time around for Moonlight to try to steal. Roche will just go nice and clean towards the side of Azure. Aegis and the banner set to go. Again, we're hitting critical mass now for Han. Has the Scotty recipe, buying out that booster now into the full Scotty. And this Deuce is just way too tanky. You saw her cop Requiem, and she copped everything up front. It's just not enough to burst through at this point with all of these stats up on your Deuce with 1.8k mana on hand to play with. Oh, a bit unfortunate as well, right? Fortnite Man gets target painted onto his back. He's not able to get a good back wall that captures everyone from Azure. You also miss out on the hook shot from Krecker while jetpacking around, and the high ground begins in full force here for the side of Azure.
Absolutely. T3 tower not gonna last too long with the amount of damage now that Low is doing. T3 down.
Middle tower has fallen.
Roshan banner has been applied as well, so now you've really got to hope for a good defense to come out, but not before Crystallize does respawn. Trying to just delay this as much as humanly possible against this Medusa, but of course you're gonna have Planet with the constant reset here for Low as well. That's what something you really can't forget about is Planet is there now, and he has one job to do.
Oh yeah. The good suck, as I like to say. The good drain. Also has
always a good
psychic
suck,
headband. Oh, it always is. It's perfection if they could have gotten Pugna. Can you imagine? Life drain and mana drain onto one.
Here we go. They're going to start the fight. Already
Oh.
2 axes down. Krecker in big danger. They'll drop the wall, but the mana drain's going to remove all those illusions. And now Moonlight and Krecker both in huge danger. At least Moonlight barely gets out with 80 HP. The Sunstrike dodge as well. Moonlight. Oh, that was close. 80 HP. And the sidestep on the Sunstrike, allowing him to survive. 2 buybacks committed as well by Palianytsia. But I don't think Azure feel like they need to back off here, John. Nothing's really been spent apart from Stone Gaze and Rolling Thunder. Like, you can just keep chipping away. As long as Planet's mana draining, you're not going to take any damage.
Yeah. And they're trying.
Moonlight, he's
Planet?
jumped in. He's trying to take down the real problem, which is the Lion, but he's gone. Crystallize trying to run. GG is called. They've had enough. That'll be a 2-0 victory now for Azure. And my goodness, I mean, at the very least,